My dance. And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, and I have two very special guests with me today. I'm absolutely thrilled to have here with me Clara from List Perfectly and T Money.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
if you don't know, Clara is the co-founder and co-CEO of List Perfectly. So this is kind of a big deal. Teresa is a 20-year veteran seller on eBay. She's the very first user of List Perfectly and just an all-around knowledgeable guru, I would say, of eBay and a really good teacher. So I've introduced you, but I'm going to ask Clara to tell us a little bit more about herself and how you got started with List Perfectly.
Oh, thank you, Star, and thank you for the incredible introduction. I'm so happy to be here. So, I used to be a full-time reseller, just like many of you, and it was the love of reselling and not fitting or not being completely happy in corporate America that I wanted to be my own boss. And I have the very incredible opportunity of meeting the other co-founder of List Perfectly that got me into e-commerce. I left banking and finances, and all it took was one sale for me to be completely hooked, and I changed my life. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with early deformative arthritis. And that deformative arthritis created the need, okay, of us to create software to be able to cross-post to multiple sites, manage that inventory, and then measure with analytics where I was performing better. That was the journey that we did, and it was an incredible journey to switch from full-time reseller and then finance myself List Perfectly. We had no investors to date, and we have no sales team, we have no advertising, we pay for no boosting. We don't pay for people. I'm not paying Star right now to do a special session. She does is a referral member of List Perfectly, but she has to refer people in order to get commission. So for me, was very important to invest in my community before investing in sales and advertising. And that's what made List Perfectly, I think, so engaging with the community on top of being an incredible tool.
It sells itself.
Agreed. Agreed.
It does not need any advertising. I mean, from the minute you use it, you realize where has this been all my life and how have I ever listed or worked without List Perfectly?
That's right.
Teresa, you want to tell us a little bit about your reselling journey and how you got started with List Perfectly?
Sure. I have been selling online for over 25 years. I started trying to get rid of some computer equipment at work and had a few sales, decided to sell some stuff around the house. And I sold pretty part-time for 15 years where I was I called it my play money. So I had about 400, 600 listings and I made $800 to $1,000 a month. And for my entire 9 to 5 career, that was my play money. Mm-hmm. And then one day I got a pink slip on my, it was actually 10 years ago this month, on my favorite 9 to 5 job, career job ever. And I was devastated and crushed. And I just thought, oh, well, I can sell on eBay all the time. So that's kind of where I started. And, I started selling red things. And then, as we all do, it kind of morphs into something else. And pretty much you're selling anything that will make a buck. And
as long as it's legal.
Yeah, as long as it's legal, there you go. And now I'm just at the tail end of selling off my life on eBay. I downsized had a huge house, big house, I called it, that I sold 6 years ago and got my stuff listed. But I will tell you that selling my personal stuff, I just updated my spreadsheet earlier this week. I have made over $80,000 selling the junk that we all donate when we move. And it's funny because when I did this, I started a blog and realized, doing all this social media stuff isn't for me because I didn't keep it up. But it was called Selling My Life on eBay, and my idea was that I could work at eBay for full time and earn $100,000 in the first year selling my stuff on eBay. Well, that didn't happen. It took me 5 or 6 years because I just, I didn't have, I moved 3 times in 18 months and I didn't have,
wow.
I wasn't totally focused on that part of the business. So, but my stuff is listed. It thrills me when somebody pays me $50 for a skirt that I wore to work for 5 years, 10 years ago. It's like, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, so like most people, I started part-time and I morphed into full-time, and I couldn't be happier.
So I just want to interject real quick. I went to get my haircut this morning, and they always say, do you have any plans for today when you go to get your haircut? Yeah. And I said, well, I have to go back home and work. I said, we're self-employed, so we kind of like to get our haircuts in the morning, and then we rearrange our schedule. And she goes, oh, really? What do you guys do? And Keith's, in the chair over here. I said, well, we own our own business and we sell on eBay. And she was like, oh my God, my husband does too. So the girl who cut my hair, her husband is a full-time eBay seller. And he started because their neighbor across the street had gotten fired and needed gas money and sold his video game console to her husband who didn't need it. So he sold it, and she said he was addicted, and he started buying all these video games and consoles and reselling them. And they said that's pretty much how it happens for everybody.
Yep, that's exactly how it happens.
So I just thought that was really interesting that like my hair, today of all days too, she said, oh my gosh, that's what my husband does. And I told her I do YouTube, and she's like, well, can I see your eBay store? And I was like, yeah, it's the Hippo Hut. And she's like, I'm going to show it to my husband because I told her I sell everything that's legal. And I don't lock myself into a niche. And she's like, I got to see your store. And I'm like, yeah. So it's pretty neat.
They're everywhere.
They are. Definitely down here in Florida, especially. I'm looking at my list if you wonder what the heck I'm doing. I was going to tell everyone how I met Clara and Amanda. So eBay opened 2019. We were at the Skyfall Lounge, and I saw this like circle of people. Like, what's going on over there? Everyone was like in the circle, and I had to be nosy. So I wandered over, and Clara is just excited and talking a mile a minute.
Not Clara.
Amanda's just going,
what? No, are you sure it was me?
It was you. Amanda's
Sounds like me. Sounds like me.
But they were talking about this new thing on how to cross-post your listings, and I was like, I want in on this ground floor. And so they set up a meeting, and by meeting, I mean we met in a hallway.
Yes.
Because you guys only had one ticket to eBay Open that you were sharing. So we met.
Not even sharing. I was doing the guerrilla marketing in the entrance of the event. And then Amanda was inside, but then I realized the action was at the entrance of the event. So it was really incredible. That's how I saw you many times,
That's a real bootstrapped company.
It is.
And you go to your first major event and can only buy one ticket.
They were sharing one ticket, and we met in this random hallway of Mandalay Bay, like right before you went into the conference. The food court was right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were on these couches, and some people had to sit on the floor. There wasn't enough room. And they pitched us, and I was like immediately like, okay. So I started using it. You gave me your code. Remember the code everyone had?
Yes.
LP30 rocks on forever.
And I came home and I started using it, but Keith was like, are you sure? This sounds like a weird start. I'm like, it is a startup, but I believe in these two women and I believe in what they have.
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's the first marketing material. I remember it well.
I have that. I have a bag somewhere of all the brochures and business cards I got from eBay Open. And I think that's in there.
Yep.
And we gave you like a button pin. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did. That's actually, I don't even know where that went. Do you guys remember when Mandalay Bay left the thing in your room from eBay?
Yes.
Yes. I have that box somewhere, and I have a pin from Vicky, the very first pin I got from Vicky and Katie. And the very first Look Perfectly pin I ever got. I'm such a dork.
No, that's what we do when we go to these
Oh,
conferences.
we love
collect
it.
all that
I
stuff.
have it all in my eBay. Yes, I have it all in my strap.
So I guess I should be acknowledging, hey, everybody over there in the comments. I'm usually really good about that, but I won't say anything.
I usually have it up, and I don't even have it open right now.
So Cheryl is here. She's my friend that I went thrifting with. If you're familiar with my channel and you've been watching all the haul videos and all the clothes I got, Cheryl was my good luck charm. Oh my God, did we find some? She has boxes. I have bags and boxes. I downsized some of the stuff when we moved. Kim, everyone knows Kim. She's been on my channel before. She's an admin in the List Perfectly group and an amazing reseller with a really great story of her own. All right. So Teresa, how has List Perfectly changed your business?
Well, I'm very impressed that you know that very little known fun fact trivia that I am List Perfectly user number 1. Because I always tease them, I'm number 1.
Yep, I do know that.
So I was fortunate. I run a meetup group here in the Phoenix area. And just by the stroke of luck and living under my lucky star, I happen to be in the same very large city as Clara and Amanda. And they looked me up and came to this eBay sellers meetup group that they saw online in February of 2019. And I have no idea what the topic was that night, but I just remember talking to them afterwards and going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I remember it took us a couple of days, maybe even a week or so to get connected. We were going to meet, and it just wasn't like they are literally an hour and 10-minute drive from where I am with no traffic. Like that's how big Phoenix is. And anyway, so we finally met up on Zoom before everybody knew what Zoom was.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a demo of the product, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we need to do this. And I just remember immediately peppering them with questions. Well, what about this? What about my 4,000 listings I already have? What about this? What about this? And little did I know they were taking notes of everything. And fast forward years later, we were at a dinner, and Amanda was telling me, finally, she's like, well, let me tell you what I remember about that meeting. When you said this and this and this, it helped me decide. They had 7 or 8 different paths they were going to go. And so when you said this, we decided to go this way. And then you said this. And so this is, I mean, I get it now, but then I was just excited about the product. And so, so if you're very fortunate, I have believed in it from day one. I love everything about the product. I love everything about the company. I love they're women owned. I love that they are minority. They absolutely give back to the community in ways that, it's just unheard of. My favorite thing, and I always talk about this, my favorite thing is when they weren't just pretty new, but I don't know, maybe in the last year and a half, they were buying items from subscribers' stores and closets just randomly. And so that they could give it away in their mystery boxes on a Friday, and one of their lucky subscribers will win inventory to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea, until I'm packaging up a $200 jacket one day and I see it's going to Clara. I'm like, what? Clara, what are you doing? Why did you buy this jacket for $200 full price? Mm-hmm. We're giving back to the community. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for buying my $200 jacket.
It's that one sale that tricks other sales, right?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Well, and I also remember after I met them at Open, I started using them right away and started promoting them on the channel. I didn't even know what I was doing or how to use it, but I'm like, look where I found it Open and watch me. And you had to move them one at a time. There was no bulk.
Nope.
One at a time. There was no catalog. And then they did a catalog, but you had to pay for the catalog. But when I first started using it, it was one listing at a time from one platform to the other. And I remember demoing that on my channel. And then at Christmas, Clara and Amanda sent me this huge care package as like a thank you for being one of our first adopters or first users. And there was I still have it and use it. There was a wine bottle opener, but it has a bottle opener on it. I still use that every day. Well, I shouldn't say every day. That makes me sound like an alcoholic, but I use it all the time in the kitchen. But there was 2 of those, and there was stickers, and there was magnets, and the kid in me was so excited. I'm like, I got stickers for my bullet journal that say "List Perfectly." I'm gonna stick one on my laptop.
Aw.
And there were T-shirts, and I've just never. I guess I've never been like I've never used a product where I've actually known like the founder and the owner as actual people that are my friends that care and send you care packages. It was just so cool.
And let's just talk when they went over the top and started giving away laptops. Who does that? Laptops 3 at a time. I'm like, holy moly.
Oh, we're giving one at this weekend again.
I know you guys. You
Yeah,
guys are amazing.
They give away laptops all the time. And then when we went to the Reseller Remix last year, Liz grabbed me and Alex. They took me upstairs and they're like, show us what color T-shirts you don't have. And I'm like, I don't want to take this many T-shirts. And they're like, here, we love you. You're always talking about this channel. And I just had like a blue and a pink and a light blue. They're like, does Keith want some? I don't need all these. And they're like, yes, you do. And they've just always been so giving and of their stuff.
I agree. I always tease Clara. She's the Argentina Oprah. And you get a T-shirt, and you get a T-shirt, and here's your laptop,
and you get photo room, and you get photo. Everybody gets photo room.
She is like the Oprah. So the next question is, to talk about our favorite features, and you can demo if you want or not.
All right.
Clara, you want to go first?
All right. Which feature? I'm so sorry. Which feature? My favorite. All right. I'm going to show you the money maker. I call this feature, of course, we call it the hybrid listing or something like that. Okay. Or the SEO rich, optimized listings. But this is my favorite. We're going to use as an example eBay because we're all, the 3 of us here right now, but this can be applied with any marketplace that has a sell similar feature. In this case, it used to be sell similar, now it's called sell more in eBay, but this is my favorite. The reason that this feature is my favorite is because it's the way that you're going to have the most optimized and rich listing at the fastest time. Because I have deformative arthritis, for me to list natively on eBay and to do item specifics on eBay, it's unthinkable. The pain is just unbearable. I would only be able to do 2 or 3 listings a day if I was doing that. So hold on a second. I got it here. All right. So I'm going to share my screen.
The item specifics can be very time consuming. And I know Teresa says she's a click snob. So if you guys don't like to sit there and click and type and fill everything out, this is amazing.
Awesome.
I can get an eBay listing up in 3 to 5 clicks.
I watched you do that on a List Perfectly live show. That was pretty amazing.
Awesome.
3 to 5 clicks on eBay who wants you to tell them your mother's great-grandmother's maiden name.
I love it. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do it.
In this video here, we're going to show you how to cross-post from your List Perfectly catalog into eBay using the Sell Similar feature on eBay. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to navigate to our List Perfectly extension settings. We can get there by clicking the List Perfectly icon here, and then we'll click Settings. Now, what we want to do is we want to enable this setting here, this Copy to Open Marketplace tab setting. Once we've enabled that, we can go ahead and close this, and now we can move on. So what we want to do is we want to find this exact pair of shoes, and a good way to do that is by copying the item ID there, and we'll go ahead and search eBay for that. Next, what we want to do is we want to sell similar from a listing that has already sold. and has good item specifics in it. So we'll go ahead and use this one, for instance. So as we can see here, everything is already filled out, which takes away from you as the user having to do it on your end. So what we can do now is you can click on the listing and we can click this Sell Now button here. And what this will do is it will create the listing for you and add all of the item specifics into the listing form. But what you don't get is your images and your description. So now comes in where we need to cross post from our List Perfectly catalog into eBay.
So
So
cool.
we'll navigate back to List Perfectly and we'll go to our listings here. Now we will find the pair of shoes that we are trying to cross post. Click the cross post icon, and now we will click copy.
Yeah.
So now with the copy to open marketplace tab setting enabled, all of our images and our description will be added into the listing form. But we also get to keep all of the item specifics that were on the listing that we sold similar to. So now we can go ahead and
Time
review.
saver.
That everything looks good. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and publish our listing.
This is so freaking cool. It like merges them.
Exactly. And I tell people all the time, I mean, everybody thinks, oh, what cross-posting list service do you like? Well, does List Perfectly cross-post? Absolutely. Does it cross-post 11 platforms? For sure. But there's a million other features that make reselling life so easy. And this is one of them, that when you understand what that is and how it works, it changes your life and you're like mind blown.
It's
So-
more than a cross posting.
That's right.
Oh much
It's
more.
it's important that I recommend people to highly to use Sell Similar and then merge your List Perfectly listings, or you use templates. That's the way that you're gonna be saving times. You can template anything. You can import a Sell Similar from eBay and make it a template with
What
any
Kim and I
plan.
think like.
You know, it's
Yeah,
so
the templates are pretty amazing too because of the default template. So if I actually have next to me right here a stack of 40 pairs of jeans.
oh really?
So I'll set my default to jeans and I'll take my pictures with the next photo feature on my phone. And then I come back to my computer and I have 40 listings already all filled out. All I have to do is put in my measurements and like the brand and some specifics and boom. And then they're out on 4 platforms now because I wasn't aware that you could list women's clothing on Kidizen until Kim told me.
No way.
I didn't know. And like all the
Yes.
plushies I have of stuffed animals,
Oh, you
I thought it was just kids' clothing.
silly me. No, silly me. How come I didn't tell you? You know what? I'm so happy. Kim, thank you. You're amazing.
So Keith has actually been working all week on
Yeah.
our catalog to get all of our current listings on Kidizen for us. And now as I'm listing new stuff, I'm pushing it out. And we're on Grailed now. And it's just, it's like so much more money in sales. It's so
It's 11 platforms, and I will say I've listed and sold on all of them. I don't list every item to 11 platforms, clearly because they don't all qualify. Tradesies for high end, Etsy's for handmade and vintage. It's like, so if you have, you know, a pair of women's jeans that are, you know, $30 jeans, you can't list those on Tradesy. You don't list those on Etsy. But for the most part, if you have a vast catalog of items that you're selling, you can have items on all 11 platforms, and they're all the same, quick and easy. And I typed in the chat because Crystal was talking about how her husband is now joining her in her reselling journey, and she taught him as a new user to list and list perfectly. And what that does, it's first of all, he thinks it's easy, which it is. But what that does is it allows him as a new seller to be able to list today on 11 platforms without having to go and learn. There's a few guidelines that we would teach him about. This is for vintage and this is for men's clothes and whatever it might be. But when he figures that out, the tools are right there, and it doesn't matter. We don't have to learn how to list on Depop and then Etsy and whatever. So, but again, so many underutilized features. It is my goal to get subscribers to learn and use them, because it's such a powerful tool. And the neatest thing, another neat thing about, List Perfectly giving back to the community and all that other stuff, is that back in the day when they had 4 platforms and you had to cross post one individually and it cost extra to have things in the catalog, List Perfectly had 3 subscription plans. Today they have 3 subscription plans with a million more options and photo room and integration with Sizely. And it's the same price as it was 3 years ago.
Yes.
And that
actually it's cheaper because you don't have to pay to have a catalog.
You don't
now.
have to pay to have
That's
a catalog.
right.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
but the base subscription price, and I have over 8,000 listings in my List Perfectly catalog right now, and so I am grateful for that. And the whole thing of using the background photo room background remover, that integrating changed so many resellers' life.
Yeah, it changed mine for sure, because my back issues that I have, it's really hard for me to take photos standing. So I can actually sit somewhere comfortable now and just take the plushies, and then the background wipes out. It's so amazing.
It is.
So I'm actually currently training Keith. He I don't know why. He's so stubborn. He's stuck in his ways. I actually sat down with him last night and showed him some more features of List Perfectly.
Yeah.
But he says, I'm set in my ways and this is what I do. He lists on his phone to eBay. Then he moves them to List Perfectly. Then he pushes them out. Because the way we do our business together, we're each in charge of specific things. Like he does all the men's shirts and the remotes and the electronics, video games. I do all the plush and jeans. So I'm over here optimizing my life.
Yeah.
And doing my pictures and my templates all in List Perfectly. And I was showing him last night. He's like, I don't care. And I'm like, you're making it so much harder on yourself, but I will wear him down. I promise. Because he could be taking his pictures on his phone the way he already is, but they would just be on List Perfectly for him. And then he could push them out instead of.
Here's the fabulous thing about List Perfectly. There's not one way to do everything. So
in my house, there's only one way to do things.
This is my words of wisdom. If Keith is getting the job done, doing it in eBay and cross posting, let Keith do it in eBay and cross post.
Well, here's my
intention.
Here's my words of wisdom. Okay, yes, that's well said, Teresa. But carpal tunnel is guaranteed. Okay, Keith, okay. So what I suggest, if you were doing, say, 20, 30 listings a week, yay, okay. But I doubt it that you're doing.
He's doing that many a day.
So that's all I say. Okay. So I'm going to be doing soon a session in which we're going to be using, we're going to be timing. Okay. And I'm going to be showing people, okay, we're going to be really timing these. Okay. So we are going to be showing it's okay to understand that to do things in a certain way, but it's also, we want to encourage people to try a different way sometimes, even though you might not like it, and just see how it feels. And I think that if we start showing this listing natively on eBay, because eBay is the most complicated platform to start your listings in. Okay, it is the most time consuming. So we just gotta show, okay, with education, okay, and I know, okay, that we're gonna eventually reach out to Keith, okay, with logic and showing the time saving features. And once you get the time saving features and you start,
because he's using he's got a photo room,
and that's great,
and he's doing all that on his phone. And do you know how long photo room takes on your phone?
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, it takes forever.
Oh,
It's-
really?
Yes, because you go into their app and you can do bulk pictures,
Yeah.
but it takes like it's like a snail race in molasses.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Matthew. Okay. Thank you for letting
Yeah.
me know that.
I
Is that
mean,
with Android or with iPhone? Is that with both?
we have Androids,
Okay, Android.
so
Thank
I
you.
don't know how Apples work, but
Sounds good.
no, I mean, like Teresa said, honestly, actually, at the end of the day, there's no wrong or right way to use List Perfectly. It's there for every reseller to use it however they need for whatever their business is. But I just feel like he could be, and he knows how to use it. Like he cross-posted Grailed and Kittison every time we get a new platform, he's in charge of moving all the stuff because I'm the one that's doing all the social media. And he doesn't like to be on social media or anything, so he has to do all the cross-posting and stuff. But and he loves List Perfectly. I just think he just wants to start things on his phone on eBay because that's what he does.
It's
He has a
habit.
certain place he sits to do it. He has his
Yeah.
show he watches while he lists in the background. It's Star Trek.
Nice.
Nerd.
It's a habit, and that's okay, and
Yeah, and I have my laptop and my true crime that I mean, everybody has like their routines. And it's,
Yep. We all get in our groove. And I work in complete silence.
oh
No
no.
TV, no radio,
Oh,
nothing.
no.
I gotta
Lost
have
my thoughts.
Amanda does that in silence. I can't do it. I have to have TV, music, some other form of stimulation.
Nope, I work best. And I'm that person that can drive across country with no radio, no podcast, nothing.
Oh, before I forget, someone in the audience asked about what is Kittison. May I answer that question, Star?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm like reading the comments too.
Yeah, so Kittison is another platform that List Perfectly supports, and the reason all of them are dear, but the mission of Kittison is very dear to us because what they're trying to accomplish is to help families and mothers, and especially maybe newborn mothers with newborns, to resell their maternity and woman products, and this goes beyond clothing. It could be like accessories, it could be like I don't know, a baby walker, anything. It really extends beyond clothing and beyond small accessories. So they do such a great mission for say that you are a mom that just your baby's already now 2 years old and you have all this baby clothing. You're not planning to have a baby soon, okay? Or maybe you're not planning to have another baby and you want to just make money out of what you bought for your baby. And it's a great resource to resell these products.
Mm-hmm. And I was unaware that I can be selling all my jeans, my women's jeans,
Yes,
my women's blouses, my maternity clothes, and my plushies.
your plushies. Yes, any kitties and any kids, toys, anything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I guess I'm guilty
and they
too.
keep
I
adding
didn't run,
categories.
you know?
They keep adding categories too. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Someone asked, am I in the true crime community on YouTube? Not yet. I've been talking about starting a true crime serial killer podcast or YouTube for like years now. We don't know. I do those. Do you guys know what diamond dots are?
Mm-hmm.
They're like paint by numbers. I do diamond dots and then I hang them up and around my house. I have one of Pennywise the clown. I did one of Baby Yoda. I always watch true crime while I do it, and Keith calls it my dots and murder. And I thought about a channel called Dots and Murder where I did like if I was doing this podcast on Ted Bundy, I'd be doing a painting of a yellow Volkswagen Bug. That's what he drove, if you didn't know. So I'm thinking about it because I'm definitely interested in true crime and serial killers, and Ed Gein would be proud.
You should. You should.
I want to see your baby. I will send you a picture. The Baby Yoda is in the other room because my kitchen and dining room are Star Wars themed.
Kim has so much. She loves her Yoda. Yes.
I'm such a nerd. Teresa, what is
Yes.
your favorite feature? And you can demo it if you want or not. And here's mine.
I don't have a demo, but I will tell you that my favorite feature right now, because it does change, is I am doing an physical inventory. And so I am pulling down, I bring home, my inventory is offsite in a storage unit, and I bring home 15 to 20 boxes, and they're all piled in the dining room area right now. And so I type in 169 on List Perfectly, and I make sure everything's in there. And then anything that's not listed is an orphan, and I go look at it. But my favorite feature in doing this is the update feature, which is a fairly new feature in the last couple of months. And so what happens is I go through 10 or 15 boxes. I write down the box numbers that I have that I've updated. And in 15 boxes, I can condense and empty somewhere between 3 and 8, depending on what boxes I pull. And so then what I do is I go through and, anything that was in box 150 that is now moved someplace else, I have, 10 boxes that I have to go now and update to the platforms with the item number. And in doing this, I'm like, oh, that picture, I switch my pictures around sometimes, or I'll change the title. I'm like, and I'm not spending a ton of time on this. It's a quick fix here and that doesn't look right or whatever. But now List Perfectly allows me to, I've updated those listings, and with a simple click of the button and click on the platforms, it goes out and it updates those listings. So it goes out and finds my original list, not a new listing, finds my original listing, replaces the pictures, changes the text, the title, whatever I've changes the price. I've changed a ton of prices in doing this. And I have changed the item location. And so I that's my favorite feature right now, because it is a game changer for when you do a physical inventory.
Yes. And if you're only changing the SKU line, you can go to the Express editor.
Yep.
And change your SKU lines there and then update it. And I did put in a request, Clara. You know, when you do the update feature, you can choose.
SKU?
I want just the SKU. Just the SKU.
I have it. Okay.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Dan, they're working on it. Dan, they're working on it. Would you like me to show the update feature?
Oh, yeah. Do you have that? I
sure, if you want to.
Of course.
So I've talked about it. Now you guys understand how I look at it. But of course, Clara has a video.
I say, yeah. Every time there's a new feature, it's my new BFF.
Yep. They have great videos.
The update feature. Instead of delisting and relisting entire new listings on supported platforms, you can simply apply updates to listings. Once the editing has been completed in List Perfectly, you can apply these updates. Just go ahead and select the listings you want to apply an update to. In this example, we're going to choose 10 different listings. And then here we're going to update. So we're going to update for all the platforms they're selected to, choose update. And then here we can see where we can update all listing details or target very specific updates we want to apply. We're going to choose price and then confirm update. Now List Perfectly is going to apply the updated details to the listings that are already published, where you'll be able to just simply review and then apply the update on the marketplace. We'll hop over to Poshmark here. Once we've finished our eBay listings, review that the price has been updated correctly, and then choose update. Now you've updated your details and the prices right directly on the marketplaces without ever having to delist or relist anything in bulk.
So I like this because it feeds the algorithm, but and I just saw a comment in the chat about end and sell similar every 30 days. Stop doing that. Please stop doing that. And I get it. People think that feeds the algorithm. And so let me tell you, let me give you my quick pitch, Mitch. And if you want to keep doing that, you grow right ahead. It's your business. But I work with a lot of eBay teams. I do a lot of stuff for eBay, like I do with List Perfectly. And the biggest reason why, there's a reason why eBay took away the ability to do a 30-day listing. And the reason is eBay is a data-driven company, data-driven, publicly traded company. So they have a board of directors that they have to answer to. They have investors that they have to answer to. So anytime eBay wants to make a change like this, and it's a big change, they have to have the data to support it. And their data showed that it takes, and I'm making this number up, so don't quote me. Let's just say it takes 47 days on average for an eBay listing to be seen and sold. And some people say that's too long, but eBay has 1.1 billion active listings on any day. So it takes some time for them to marinate through the system. And because of that 40-day made up day that I'm making up right now, sellers that were ending their listings every 30 days were taking them down before they had enough time to marinate and be seen. And therefore their sales rate goes down. Now everybody says, oh no, that's not true. I relist and I sell it. Okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you, you can't argue with a multi-billion-dollar company's internal data with data scientists that feed this information to the board of directors that authorize these changes. So based on that, I would say it's, and then go and listen to Dave Snyder's eBay, the seller community podcast, episode number 8. And then he did 2 more episodes in the 20s. And he talks about SEO search. And I listened to that. I listened to it over and over again. And he teaches you why that is horrible practice for SEO search and how the internet works. And Dave Snyder is an eBay SEO search expert. This is his livelihood. This is what he makes his living doing. And so for that reason, I encourage people, do not end and relist your listings every 30 days. Now, am I getting a boost in Poshmark by updating my listings? Same kind of boost as if it's a new listing. Am I getting a boost in eBay? Yes, because now I've made some changes to it. Do I want to make these changes every 30 days? No, because if you have a bad listing now and you just end it and relist it and sell similar, it's still a bad listing. Only you've taken the time that it marinates off the table. And so I'm stepping down off my soapbox now.
I would only like to add that she's only talking specifically about eBay.
Yes, I am only talking about
best practice on Mercari.
Absolutely. Mercari and Facebook Marketplace, 2 marketplaces that I only sell seasonal items because, and I don't have any items right now on either marketplace, but it is a goal this weekend to get my summer stuff up on both. And then in probably September, I'll get rid of all of those and put October up. Put Halloween up in September.
October up.
And then I will end my Halloween listings and put Christmas up. And so from probably February until June is usually when I have nothing up there because I have nothing seasonal. And
we do really well with Plush and remotes on Mercari.
I bet.
But the way their offers to likers works is so different than Poshmark.
Yeah.
So on Poshmark, if Teresa likes it today and I send her an offer, tomorrow I can send Clara the same offer. The way Mercari works, if I send Teresa an offer today and Clara's a second liker tomorrow, I still have to send Clara 10%
less. Yeah.
So I like to once every 2 or 3 months, not every month. Like you can keep track of when your listings were updated. I actually have a video on this channel. And so if it's 3 months stale, we also do eBay. So I'm with Teresa. Don't end them every single month.
No.
But if they're like 3 to 6 months old,
yep,
it's probably, like she said, it's a bad listing. But now it is stale, I believe. So you want to go in and check your pictures, check your title, make sure your keywords are good, rearrange them a little bit. If you have silver jeans, women's size, blah, try silver jeans bootcut or silver bootcut jeans. Like just rearrange stuff a little bit.
Put your brand name first.
Yes.
And then, Levi's women's or Levi's silver bootcut jeans, there's all kinds of things on how that works. Yeah, and again,
brand, size, condition.
Yeah, all those things. I am not. I've got over 5,500 listings on eBay, so I am not in the habit of going back and revisiting my listings over and over again. What I'm doing now, when I'm doing my physical inventory, is all I'm ever going to do to touch an item a second time.
That's right.
Because I want to list new things.
We do 10 a day if they're 3 months or older. We do 10 to 20 a day that we end and relist on Poshmark or Mercari.
And that's good because that feeds their algorithm.
Yeah, and then we're listing new stuff each day too. So we're not replacing new items. We list our new stuff. That's priority number 1 before this other thing. But we keep track of when it was last updated using our catalog. And we'll do, I say we, Keith does it, but he'll get 10 that are like 3 to 6 months old. He opens like all the new little tabs on List Perfectly, and he double checks to make sure that there were no typos, that the keywords are rich, that the title is good, that the pictures are good. And he'll change the price because sometimes things can go up or down. And then he will end it and relist it. And he does this for eBay as well if they're like a certain staleness.
Yeah.
But we don't do like month-old listings. They have to be old.
No.
But with Macari and Poshmark, you're okay, I think, with once a month because
That's right.
they're different than eBay.
Yeah,
And
but
it also
eBay, Etsy, hold on, eBay, Etsy, Grail, Tracy, Poshmark, okay, they work very similar. So one of the things that eBay has an advantage of above other marketplaces is that they share, once you list it on eBay, then eBay is going to share those listings with Google Shopping. So when you're doing the madness of delisting and relisting, you're destroying the hard work of SEO that eBay is giving you, okay, just because you're selling on the platform. The same applies, okay, with other platforms that also are with the same concept. You're gonna get 2 weeks of fame, okay, that is gonna be short-lived, but then you're gonna be sent to limbo. Now, let me give you this is new. Did you know that now eBay, if you send tiny images, let's say you're coming from Poshmark, or Mercari with tiny images, if they're under 800 times 800, they will literally send your listing to limbo. Literally, it will not be visible. And they really want to emphasize to be sent good pictures. So
that's why you start an LP, folks.
Well, and also you start an LP, and most people are taking their pictures on their phones now. So that's not an issue. It's not an issue unless you download it from a site.
Yeah.
And we all know that Poshmark compresses your pictures. So if you're starting on Poshmark and you're cross-posting, your pictures are going to be compressed. And if they weren't great pictures when you put them up, they look great on Poshmark. But then if you download them and try to put them up on eBay, you're going to get this error that sends you into limbo because your pictures aren't.
They look great on Poshmark mobile.
Mobile. Yep. There you go. So anyways, I mean, these are just all nuances that if you're selling and you're just one of those people that put your nose to the grindstone and you don't really want to pay, like you need to, because these changes matter. Yeah. And if you're one of those people, Keith, that just like, I'm still listing and I'm doing it this way and I don't care that everything's changed. Sometimes you do have to change because the way the platforms operate changes.
Well, I had to change my mindset too, because for the longest time I have always had pro, but I was still starting in eBay as well. Yeah. And then cross-posting to the other platforms just in bulk real quick. Wasn't even using the catalog. And then when I first started talking to Liz and I had her on the channel, she was like, Star, do you know what you can do with this catalog? And I talk about this all the time. I said it in the podcast that you had me on, Clara, with Doug. Yeah. My biggest reason personally for loving the catalog is because when I do my inventory once or twice a year, like Teresa's doing, I always find items that fall off. There's little gnomes that live in eBay that eat your listings.
The black hole is real.
They're really the little fairies in your dryer that eat your socks. They're like,
and Poshmark too. Start Poshmark. Etsy is the same concept.
They always disappear.
The grass is greener.
And then I got to pull the item, re-photograph it, redo the listing, and blah, blah, blah. Now, if I find that it fell off, I'm like, oh, okay, well, here it is on my catalog. Click. Oh, look, it's back on eBay. And that's all the work I have to do. And that was like the biggest, like when Liz was like, Star, because she had seen one of my videos where I was talking about all the stuff that fell off. She's like, you don't have to deal with that anymore. If you just if you just get over yourself.
And I will tell you that in me doing my inventory, physical inventory, I call anything that's not listed that's in a box, it goes to set aside, and that's what I call my orphan pile.
Yeah.
And my orphan pile is very small because I will do this and I'll get through 15 or 20 boxes. Then I go through my orphan pile and I'm like, type in my list perfectly catalog. Oh, there it is. Change the item number, put it in the box right here, push it out, and it's like, it's amazing. And so, so my orphan pile is greatly reduced. And anything that's in my orphan pile, it's like, oh, why do I only have one picture in List Perfectly? Well, because somehow or other it only had one good picture in eBay. So when I pulled it over, okay, well now I have the time to address this ornament, and I pull it aside and I will photograph it, upload the pictures to my existing List Perfectly listing, and then cross post it out.
Yeah.
So it's just a million things times better.
So I can't even express. Well, one of my favorite things to forget. My last picture I take of any item is supposed to be that item on the scale. So I could see the weight and the little tag of where it's going in my inventory. So I could put that in my SKU line. And with my plushies, the last picture is supposed to be a little paper that says what bin and them next to their measuring tape. So I know how big they are. I love to forget that last photo. I love it. I love it. I don't know why I do it, but I do it all the time. So I'm sitting at my computer listing. Now I'm like, oh, I forgot that. I can go right here and re-grab it and take it on my phone, but I can go into my list perfectly on my phone, pull up that listing, click add photo, take it real quick, come back to my computer, and there it is.
Yep.
And it's not a big hassle anymore. I'm sure probably everyone forgets something sometime. You forget the weight, or another one that is common with people who do jeans, you'll get the front but not the back of the jeans because you're going so quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just so many of these little, like you said, nuances and tricks and tips that you can list perfectly. Is not just a cross posting. It's a listing. It's a catalog. It's an inventory. I don't know. It's my life. I can't imagine doing any of this without List Perfectly anymore.
Crazy, huh?
No, and if you're new and you want to move everything over to your catalog, which you should be,
yeah,
you don't have to babysit it. I know Teresa is just like me. You'll set like 50 and walk away.
Girl, 187 is my max right now.
I should be doing that many. I have a gaming laptop, but
I don't even have a gaming laptop. But what I'll do is I'll go through my catalog and I'll click them all, and I have the pro plan, so I get bulk. And this is what I like to say: bulk to me is not 10 at a time. Bulk to me is 50, 75, 187. But I knew I was going to go make dinner, so let me just do this. And then do I have 187 tiny tabs open? Yes. But do I know how to click and go close tabs to the right? Yes. And all 187 tabs are closed. Like it's not a big deal. If I'm doing it and I want to edit those listings, then I'll do more like 10 at a time. And there is a feature in your List Perfect. This is another thing that I think is underutilized. If you click on your List Perfectly extension and there's a setting button, and you saw in the film, the first film that we saw, where we clicked on the settings to copy to Open Marketplace, there is a the top one if you check it off. So if I want to edit the listings, I click on the first one, which is do not automatically save the listing.
I'm going to show while you talk.
Yeah. So click on that. And the very first one is do not automatically save the listing when it's importing. And so that way that's when I do 10. And that's when I want to edit my listings and change the price or do whatever. I'll do it 10 at a time, maybe 15. Then I save them myself. If I do 187, I make sure that that's off. And then List Perfectly will automatically save the listing, and I just close all the tabs.
Yes. So yeah, that's and you don't have to babysit it. You can set it up and walk away, make dinner, go through it, set it up in the morning after you're done with your shipping, and let it do 100 or 200 while you're out at the thrift stores.
Yep. I do it all the time. Walk away from your computer.
The tabs is by design, okay? I am tired of hearing, oh, I don't want to deal with the tabs, but the tabs is by design, so you can see that imported correctly, because many things will happen. Browsers can fail. internet, okay, can be inconsistent. What about updates? Maybe require by maybe your operational system, maybe your device needed an update. So many things that can sometimes conflict and that not make that import a perfect process, and we want to give you the heads up, and that's important, that you have the chance to review, because it's so we don't want you to go and do the same thing many times. We want you to get it done once and get it done right.
Yes.
Amen. Preach it, girl.
And I would say it does depend on your internet and it does depend on your computer, but even the most geriatric computer on dial-up can do 187 cross postings in the 6 hours you're going to be out thrifting.
And I will tell you that my computer that I'm sitting at right now is connected to my router via Wi-Fi. So if I was actually in the office with it connected via cord, it would be much faster.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's one thing I know as a geek, and Keith being a geek.
Yep.
That being hardwired into your router is always going to make your internet so much faster than the Wi-Fi, which is why our router is out there with our gaming consoles.
Yeah.
It's so important when we're playing our video games. But
I love video games. I love it.
Me too. We just got a new TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for the PlayStation. It's based on those old Capcom games in the arcade. You remember, like the fighting games?
Oh, really?
You would go down and fight, like
Yeah.
It's called Shredder's Revenge, and it's just like those old arcade games. In fact, like if he was out there playing it right now, I could pick up my controller and just join, like how other people could just come up and put a quarter in. And I have to tell you, it's so much fun. We take off work early every Friday, and we go to a movie, and then we usually watch shows. Yeah. But last Friday, we did that instead. We played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for like 3 hours until we beat it. And then you get the Casey Jones character at the end. And April even fights the reporter, if you guys are familiar. So
funny. It's all about work-life balance, right?
That's right.
That's the justification.
That's right.
I am really, really good at time management and multitasking. Good. And I work hard all week and into the evening if I have to, so that I can have those Friday nights. We can take off at 4:30. We eat. We have our, I work on the weekends if I have to, but you got to find that one day or half a day that you're taking for yourself. And don't feel guilty. If you take a whole day and read a whole book, or binge watch all the Lord of the Rings, whatever you want to do, you got to find that balance, because it's so important. You can't always be playing. Obviously, you don't have any money, but you can't always be working either. That's not good for your mental health. No. So, you guys ask questions if you have them. We're going to stay on for a couple more minutes and see if folks have any questions. Did we miss any questions that you were asking while we were talking?
I see a question. Susan Arrington says, some pictures stop the listings. Susan, what is holding you back from contacting List Perfectly? And instead of, trying to get a solution here in social media, that's something that I emphasize. I have a dedicated customer care team, 24/7, 365 days of the year. You don't have to come to my pro plan to get VIP customer care. You don't need to pay extra. Simple plan, business, and pro plan, they all get dedicated customer service. They all can get to my access to my customer care manager, my tech manager, anybody. We can help you. Let's say that you don't like to type back and forth. Let's set up a video call. That's it. There is so many ways to reach List Perfectly. This Friday, List Perfectly channel, we're going live with Amanda, the co-founder, the technical co-founder of List Perfectly, and we're gonna talk about the many ways List Perfectly provides tech support. And this is one of the many reasons how you get your money back and why you invest on List Perfectly.
Yes. And I have to say, they're so fast. I think it was Patrick that I talked to. I recognize his voice. I don't want to steal him from you, but he really needs to be doing audiobooks for Audible.
I know Patrick is
a great voice, but I was having an issue with Poshmark, And I sent a message, and we did shipping, and he'd already answered me. And he was already like, do you want to do a Zoom call? And I'm like, oh, we're about to go out thrifting. I won't be home till 4 my time. And so by the time I got home, he had already set up an appointment for me. We got on a Zoom call. I didn't even have to be on camera. So you could be in your pajamas. He's like, you don't have to be on camera. Just share your screen with me. But it was like within a day, and we got it figured out. I needed to clear my cache. You'd think I'd know that being a computer nerd. That was the issue. I needed to clear my cache. That was all.
Oh, don't worry. I got to tell Amanda clear your cache, and literally she cleared it, and it did work. That was like, oh, I did it.
Even Amanda forgets to clear her cache.
Yeah, I thought, oh, it's got to be like a problem with Poshmark. I honestly never think it's a problem with List Perfectly.
I agree.
When anything goes wrong, I blame it. Well, that's Macari. It's never List Perfectly's fault in my head.
So let me tell you, I've been using List Perfectly for over 3 years now, and I was like, why? I messaged Patrick, and I was like, why isn't this working? I did this, and he's like, is your extension installed? Now that seems like a really stupid question, because yes, of course my extension is installed, but I looked up and no, my damn extension wasn't installed, and I was like, how did that happen? Somehow I had turned it off, and I was like, those are what you call idiot comments.
Oh. Well, yeah, and then it's usually those of us that should know better. Oh, what do you mean your internet's not working, Star? You don't have the Wi-Fi plugged in. You don't have the router plugged in. I've done that before too. I'm gonna let Clara answer this question.
Yes.
You gave it out for your birthday.
So actually, since the beginning of June, I've been giving for free photo room to Simple and Business. Normally, we give it only to Pro Plan members. They get $1,500 a month. And then I started to give also to Simple and Business for free, 100 and 300. Now I have decided moving forward, like, I'm not gonna cut it off. I'm gonna extend it. So I have decided to extend it to Simple Plan. Is gonna be 25 free removals, 50 for business, and 1,500 again for Pro Plan at no additional cost, as always. So yep, everybody gets photo room at no additional cost.
Everybody, you.
Told you she was the Oprah, the Argentina
Business and Pro.
And 1,500, actually, we don't even go through them anymore. When we were first moving everything into the catalog, I was burning through them because a lot of my older listings were but now I don't even use them all.
Yeah,
I think it's a great way to get the people on the other plans a taste of what it is. And if you do end up using it, it is absolutely worth upgrading to the.
You know what? Let me show you how amazing it is while we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see here, I have this not sold, not eBay. So these are pictures that I've recently took on my phone using the Next photo feature. And I usually have a bunch saved up. I don't. That's why I have 40 pairs of jeans over here I have to photograph tonight. But I'll be watching a horror movie while I do it. My life is so hard. I have to watch a movie. But this is what they literally look like, you guys, when I take the jeans. Okay. You can see my chair. You can see my boots.
Oh, yeah. There. I remember.
You can see my TV stand, right? My little poop guy there. But when you remove the background with the photo room on here, dun, 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 look how amazing that is. You can see all this crap in the background here, and I don't even worry about it. And I'll be honest with you, these are actually taken with the lights off because we had a really bad storm over the weekend. Incredible. And I didn't have power. So I took these without any lights.
And you can adjust brightness, okay, before removing the background if you wanted to make it a little more clear, but that's completely up to you.
But that is how amazing that is. I'm going to save that because once you push the remove background, it does use one of your guys. She's like, I'm not losing that one. I'm not, but I want to show you how I do my plush too, because those are.
I want to see the plushies.
Yeah, I think I have one or two See, this is why you said you don't do things live. Because I can never get it to work right. But the plushies I take like on the carpet.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I can sit the way my back injury is. I can sit in with my legs crisscross applesauce on the floor and be okay for like an hour. Okay, we're gonna come back over here while that loads.
So
Apparently,
let me answer Jamie's questions. He says, so you take photos on your phone and how do you transfer them to your PC? So Jamie, if you take your phone, and I did a shortcut on my phone that goes directly to List Perfectly new listing. So you're not gonna be able to see it, but I have an icon on my homepage that takes me. I hate this when you're trying to do this. You can see it right there. Anyway, so when I click on that, it takes me to listperfectly.com. Safari, I've already logged into my account, and it takes me right to my add a listing feature. And so I just upload the pictures, type in a few key things for the title. I might hit a few things down below, and then I hit next, go to the next one. And then I take pictures of my next item and right there. And then that's how you do it on your mobile device. And then when I come back to my computer, it's in my catalog, and then I will edit it and add anything that because I do not like typing on my phone. I'm not a fan of that. So I do the bare minimum, but I'll edit my listings, add the features, do whatever, and then cross post it from desktop, because you have to use the desktop to cross post.
So I'm going to share my screen real quick again.
Because you got it.
So when you take them on your photo, like when I go to do 40 pairs tonight, I'll come over here and I filter not sold, not eBay. And all 40 pairs will be waiting for me here, just like these. And then you go in and edit them. And this is 2 different lions. And you can see the difference. This is the lion on the carpet. And you can see the notes I leave for myself. These are why they're not listed. They're puppets that have a battery compartment. So this weekend I need to actually check the battery compartment and put batteries in and test them.
Yep.
And like this one, I totally put in the garage without having a location for my listing.
So I use the notes field. The notes field on the far right is what I use that for.
Yep.
Yeah, I use that once it's live, but I use the title when it's.
Yeah, it's a good call, Star. Yeah,
That way I
used
don't
to do the
accidentally
same.
go in here and try to list.
Yep. I knew it that I need pending. I would put pending or needed something. Oh, Jaime says, can you quickly review the cost? So very easy. Okay. No add-ons. Say no to add-ons. Okay. Say no to waiting for next month to rolls and whatever. So very simple. Simple plan, 29. Business plan, 49. Pro plan, 69. Now you gotta understand every plan is everything is a monthly subscription that renews automatically unless you cancel. So you can switch plans anytime. You will not lose a penny. And again, everything is unlimited. You never pay extra for additional channels, for delisting, for relisting, for marking sold, for inventory management. Never pay extra.
Not for templates, not for listings, anything.
No.
Or images.
So Teresa pays the same as I do, and she has 8,000 listings.
That's right.
And I have almost 3. So,
There you go.
and I just pulled out my calculator. I have Pro Plan $2.30 a day is what it comes out to. That's half the cost of a Starbucks coffee, if you want to put it that way. And $2.30 to me is so worth it. So worth the cost. You're going to make more. You're going to cross post your first thing to a different platform that you've never been on before and sell it, and you're going to make money back.
When people are trying to decide what plan to use or whatever, so like Clara said, it's very easy to upgrade or downgrade. And I try to get people to start on the Pro plan. And I do that because typically anybody that's using it, promoting it, and talking about it is on the Pro plan. So I see all these amazing things and I'm going to sign up with the simple plan. And you're like, wait, this doesn't look anything like this. Why can't I do this? So I tell them, give it the first, invest. And if you have a 30% off coupon for the first month, it comes out the same price. It comes out to about $50. So that's the same price as a business plan. So why not get all those bells and whistles and learn And if you're like, oh, this doesn't make sense, or oh, I don't really want to do this, you can downgrade to the business plan for the second month. And then when you see how much you do or you don't use it, then you can opt to go back up. Like, you don't lose your listings. You don't lose, everything's prorated. If you decide to downgrade in the middle of the month, List Perfectly credits your account for those unused days at the pro plan rate, and then applies it to your business rate. And then it just goes like it's like there's no loss here. And so, but if you, the other nice thing is if you start with, and this is what I tell people, if you start with your business, if you start with the pro plan, let's say especially if you're an Etsy or an eBay user that has more information in your listings, you want to be on the pro plan, because when you import those listings from eBay, you want List Perfectly to include all that information, the weight, the dimensions, all that stuff that you have in your listings. If you import them on the simple plan, you're going to get the title, description, the price, the SKU, and you're not going to get all that extra stuff. Then if you have that listings and you decide, I'm not really working on this right now, I don't want to get rid of it, but let me downgrade to the business. That information is still in List Perfectly's database. You don't have access to it. But if you decide to go back up to the pro plan, it's going to be there if you don't edit that listing. So if you import a bunch of listings at business plan, it's not going to have all that same information as the ones that you imported at the pro plan. So just a little behind the scenes, how the sausage is made that might help you make the decision. Import your listings using the pro plan. And also, when you have the pro plan and you cross post to something like Poshmark, I can literally, by design, List Perfectly is on every platform, you're going to have to click the category.
Mm-hmm.
So Poshmark is women's shoes, and sometimes I'll click athletic, and sometimes I won't. That's 3 clicks. I check down there. Sometimes I've forgotten to put the second color in. I might add a color. So in 3 to 5 clicks, boom, on Poshmark. That's where you make your money, is by the least amount of clicks when you're cross-posting. If you have the simple plan, and you know what, if you're selling 30 items a month, that's fine for the simple plan. You have the time to enter the stuff. But if you're trying to sell, 150 items a week, you want to be able to do this quickly and fast. And so,
awesome. Hold on, Teresa, we have many questions. I want to answer a couple of questions, okay? Susan Arrington said, that she had some problems, with the Hot Wheel in some part, that wasn't. So what I'm afraid that Susan is doing, already using a bright backdrop, okay? And then you're using the white background remover on a card, okay, that has that little part, the little transparent screen, okay? So what I recommend, Susan, is when you take your native pictures, don't put so much light, because then, okay, the product is not so bright, and then it's not gonna get confused with the background remover. And that's my recommendation. So Teresa, I just wanted to answer, start running through the questions. I want to get, Cheryl says, I need that icon on my phone. Cheryl,
there is a video on List Perfectly's channel on how to import how to put that List Perfectly quick link, is what I call it. Yep. On your home screen.
Yeah, actually, mine is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I have a folder on my phone called the HIPPO Hut, and it's got all my platforms.
Yep.
And my List Perfectly, there's bookkeeping. Well, that doesn't matter anymore. GoDaddy's gone.
We're working on it.
Yes, that was a hint. But I have my List Perfectly icon, and it just pulls up. And I saved mine to open up to a new listing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did as well.
It's so much. It's a time saver. If
I'm a quick snob.
My template's already set to jeans, so all I do is push plus,
nice,
camera, and I just start taking pictures. Boom, boom, boom. I watch a horror movie. I get 40 of them done in an hour and a half, and then tomorrow I can sit down and get all my drafts ready, and then I have a draft bank to list from and to push out across different platforms. And you can do 5 in the morning and 5 at night if you want. Some people say, spreading them out. I don't know if I believe that or not. I just do it whenever I have time around everything else. But
yeah, I hear you.
So there's no
Okay.
reason. I also want to make sure that everyone saw Kim's comment about List Perfectly never deleting your stuff. So let's say you start out with Pro Plan, you're gung ho, you have thousands of listings, and then sometimes life happens and you have to downgrade or stop for a while you move, or if your parents get sick or something happens.
Yeah.
You come back a couple months later, your stuff's still there.
Yeah, if you stop your subscription and you come back and you resubscribe, as long as you use the same email address, this is because List Perfectly, they're users, they get it. Like, any other platform is gonna like, okay, you're done, and you're wipe out all your information. List Perfectly is like, no, we get it.
Hold on. Here is a catch, okay? Careful. If you're leaving List Perfectly because you're going to go and use those free automated services, just know that those free automated services are going to
Mess up your,
they break the link of List Perfectly. They'll give you a new listing number. So when you come back, your catalog is going to be a mess. Be careful with those free automated or those automated services that are going to give you a new listing number. They're going to break the synchronization of your listings with your LP catalog. And then you're going to need to, pretty much rebuild, okay, or re-import and reestablish the connection.
And they don't always follow best business practices or terms of service. I don't recommend any of those free services.
I don't either. And here's the thing that I do a lot of testing for List Perfectly. And so what I try, it's hard for sellers because you see the stuff right now when you're like, oh, well, I want to try this free thing and this or that. There is a reason why List Perfectly is working to, I talk all the time, they have to do this before they can do this, before they can do this. And like the stuff that's up here is amazing. But before we can get there, they have to make sure that our catalogs are in sync and that our links are live and they're not broken. And so they have to break us from all these dumb habits we have of going and using a bot to end and relist. And because then our List Perfectly catalog is not in sync with the platforms. And how do you make it in sync? And it's a lot of tedious manual work. So best practices is don't, if you're going to end and delist and relist, do it from within your List Perfectly catalog. Yeah. And again, I'm not a fan of it, but there's a tool to do it with List Perfectly.
So they have a video, or do you have a video on how to set up the quick link on the iPhone?
Yes, we have in the instructions on quick guide to LP, or you can go to guide to LP. We have instructions for that, or you can select contact us and our team will send you the instructions.
I have no idea how to work an iPhone. I'm Android for life.
I'm sorry.
The LP customer care will take care of Jaime.
Teresa says, I'm sorry. I always joke with my friends that like iPhone. I can easily go over to my trash can and throw $2,000 in.
If you're spending $2,000 on an iPhone, you're buying it for the wrong place.
I have no idea.
I'm almost going. I was almost going for an iPhone, and now I see Samsung that comes with this fold version in which you can have like 3 screens. And I really need that. Imagine, doing technology, I need it.
I just really like Androids. It's some people prefer PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah.
It's all up to you. Every nerd has a reason for what they like. Star Wars versus Star Trek, all that stuff. So, Tammy, when I do the pics that way, can I edit your pics? So yes, when I do them that way, hold on a minute. I know how to work my StreamYard. So when I take the pics on my phone like that, Tammy, I'm sharing my screen now. When I come over to my List Perfectly on my computer, they're here. So then I would go in on the edit, and that is where I remove the background. And then I would, this is my template. You can see I'm just putting in my measurements. And then I would put, for this, it would be Levi's 505 straight leg jeans, women's size, I think that's an 8. And then I would just fill all this in, and I would double check all of whatever I want to fill in. And like Teresa said, you guys, I do have Pro, so you're looking at Pro. So if you don't have Pro, you may not have everything I have.
You can also edit them on your phone. If you are a phone user,
yeah,
you can. The image management is available on the phone.
Yeah, it is, but I'm 90 years old.
Get
off my lawn. I'm not doing it.
Well, and I find myself like if I'm at the car wash or you're sitting someplace, like I'll look at my catalog and I'll just be like, oh, let me do this. Like there's a lot of stuff that we can do on our phones
Yes.
Even though I'm not a phone user, I always
90%.
have my phone.
You can do 90% of things that you can do on List Perfectly desktop application. You can do it on the mobile List Perfectly. The only things you can't do is cross post and mark sold. You can even delist.
Yep.
I'm looking at all these iPhone comments. We still love you. iPhone's really good for people who aren't like Android. I feel like isn't as easy to use. You've got to be more of a computer nerd, and that's the same with like the iPhone laptops and stuff. They're very user friendly. They come like ready to use. Keith and I build our own computers typically.
Nice.
Our desktop.
Wow.
Yeah, so we like I don't know, hardcore nerd stuff.
I love it. I love it.
Doing the background remover. The background remover is so cool. Like you guys saw, like I'm haphazard. I'm just watching a movie and I'm taking pictures, and sometimes I'll get the TV in it. I get my boobs in it. I get my gut in it. And sometimes my finger in it.
Or, even better is like I do a lot of retail arbitrage. I will snap a picture on the model or on the display because it's already done up there, and I'll do that, and then I'll remove the background.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or you could take it right in your car.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yep. So yeah, and I've actually like cheated for thumbnails and for Instagram. Sometimes I have a picture that I want to use for social media or Facebook or something, and I'll just like upload it to List Perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
And use the background remover to make a thumbnail or whatever I'm doing because it's so amazing.
Star, we're doing it. Sometimes I have, people like, send us a picture of yourself, because I have to be on events. I'm like, here we are removing the background, and we're like taking it, against a cactus, Yes, Jaime. Simple plan gets a free background remover. Business plan gets free background remover. And pro plan gets free background remover. Powered by Photo Room. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Photo Room.
Hold on, I have to pick on an iPhone user. Okay, so if there's no more questions, we've been on for about an hour and a half, and I got to go feed Keith before he starts eating the furniture.
Well, this has been a fun hour talking about my favorite subject. So
yeah, it's always, time goes by so quick. I had Kim on last week for like almost 2 hours. Once I start geeking out about List Perfectly, I'm geeking out, and I'm like, but let me show you this, but let me tell you this, because I think you could talk for 8 hours and not show or talk about everything.
Yeah, exactly. I do a weekly a listing 101 where I talk about I answer people's users' questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And for each one, I try to come in with 3 or 4 things that I want to discuss. And sometimes, listers don't really have a lot of questions or whatever, and then I'm able to show. But it's my goal to always show some of these features, less used features or less known features, because there are so many of them.
There are. And I have a playlist on this YouTube channel where I try to show these features one video focused on one feature at a time.
Which is
and
awesome.
I tried to grab as many as I could, and then as new ones come out. But if you go to that playlist, it's from signing up with the LP all the way through all the things you can do with it. So check that out. List Perfectly has demos and new user guides and all kinds of cool stuff on their website too.
Yep.
And a live show every Friday. I guess I should give out my code so you all can get 30% off.
There you go.
Flippin Hippos. It's that easy. So if you want 30% off your first month, or you want to upgrade it for 30% off to try the next level up, I just put it over there for you. It's Flippin Hippos, all one word. Clara, you're going to show us how to put the icon on?
That's right. I'm not sure what device you have, Susan. I have an Android, all right? So you're going to go to the browser where you have, I don't know, whatever you want to see. I'm in my catalog, okay? So I'm in this Perfectly catalog. Or you can be like a Star and Teresa, and we're going to go to add listing. Once you are on the window of add listing, there is 3 dots up here. We're going to click on those 3 dots, and it's going to open this pop-up menu, and you're going to choose the option that says add to home screen. All right, it's right there. Add to home screen. And if you have an iPhone, do me a favor, contact us, and the team will let you know how to do it with iPhone. Pretty much the
Very
same.
similar.
Yeah, it's go to the upper 3 dots on the browser, Safari, Chrome, anything, any browser. Okay, you do not need to use Google Chrome or Edge in your mobile, tablet, iPad, or iPhone.
Yep.
It's a good thing to know for a lot of things too. Like, once you know how to make that, you can use it for so much. Like, I have a page of Stephen King's books in chronological order saved. I have the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Like, you can go to any website. I have how to watch the Marvel movies in order. Like, when you find something like that you want to save to look at a lot,
Yes,
that's a good thing to know, that you can save those to your phone. That's just some nerd stuff. I'm such a dork. So I guess we're gonna let everyone go, flipping hippos. But before we go, I want to hear from Clara, and then from Teresa, your reason why every reseller needs List Perfectly.
The reason that every reseller needs List Perfectly is because you deserve, the chance to have the access to a dignified job that is going to help you to grow fast, and anybody can access this. What List Perfectly is going to do for you is save you time so you can sell more and focus in what you love most. That's what List Perfectly is going to do for you.
And I think everybody should have, because it's a great tool to expand your business to multi-platform. It used to be, hang on a second. I am eBay girl. See, every time I show it, I never know how far to do it, but that's my real license plate. And I am the eBay girl. eBay and Amazon were my only 2 platforms 3 years ago. And then I started cross-posting to List Perfectly. And last year when I added up my sales, I took out eBay, I took out Amazon, and I averaged $3,000 a month in extra income. So would I like to spend $70 a month to make $3,000 all day long?
Yep,
and I know I would not be selling on, what's that?
$2.30 a day for $3,000 a month.
There you go. And so so I just think that if you're not using it, you should use it. If you are using it, just know that there's hundreds of features that you're probably not using. Come to the my live demos each week and ask your questions. I show something. Watch Starta's great videos when they bring out new features. Check out the List Perfectly channel. Like, there's just so much there that it is more than a listing and cross-posting tool by far.
Cheryl says storms are brewing. She lives 15 minutes from me. I don't hear any thunder yet. But I would like to thank Clara and Teresa both for taking time out of your super, super busy lives to spend an hour and a half over here on my humble small channel. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. It's fun. It's always fun to get together with resellers.
It is. And I'll see you both in Vegas.
That's right. And thank you, Star. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you for having me again. The honor was mine.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. Don't forget to try List Perfectly for 30% off Flippin' Hippos. Hit the like button, subscribe. Go follow List Perfectly on Facebook and join their Facebook group, too.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
What do I always say? Bye.
Bye.
Bye.